Okay, let's get.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Hot damn.
Woo!
What's happening, Dad?
What's good, Heston? What's good, Uncle Heston?
Where'd you end up parking?
I'm parked near an Aldi.
That's all right.
It doesn't do
Aldi's
without you.
safe.
Yeah, it's German. So I kind of feel comfortable. I'm sure my ideals align with the store owners and probably the people who visit the store.
Wouldn't that just be a funny prank, like going into Aldi or whatever, and you just throw up like a Zig Heil or whatever it's called? What's the
Just be
thing you
like,
do with your hand?
oh yeah, Hail Hitler. Do you guys have toilet paper? Yeah, okay, yeah, Hail Hitler. Yeah,
Do you get in trouble in public for doing that?
for Zig Heiling in to a
It-
person.
yeah, is it like a law, or is it just a social thing?
That's true. Like if it's obviously a joke and you're with some friends, let's say you're at like a crowded restaurant, like grilled, a
Yeah,
family place, eating burgers.
yeah.
You're there with like three friends. You walk in late, and you're like Zig Heil. Or you just say, hey, Hail Hitler, boys. Yeah. So you already ordered it.
Is it illegal to
Kind of.
do it, or is it just like not socially acceptable? Because I know it's not socially accept to like double dip, but I still do that. So
That's true.
what's stopping me from just throwing it up for the boys?
If you're throwing a Zig Heil up for the boys, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because what would happen? Like you're in grilled, you see your friends, you're like Hail Hitler, and then some family. What do? Call the police and be like, "Hey, I'm here at grilled at World Square. There was a man who just hailed Hitler." And they'll be like, "What do you want us to do?" I don't know their
The
angle.
snitching.
If someone was upset, I don't know what their angle would be.
Yeah, if they called the cops on me and then the cops showed up, I'd say that
Yeah.
um I'd just be like, no, because like they actually threw it up, and I said I'm going to call the cops, and they said no, I'm going to call the cops first and say that you did it.
I really like that one, especially when it's kind of like a group full of boys, like five boys at a table, and then like a mother, father, and like two young daughters, and
And
you're
just get their
saying,
dad
no,
locked up.
they or the mother locked up, because who would be the one? Well, you could say maybe all of them did it, and like we know we were having a problem with it. We actually called you here first, but it didn't go through,
How
and they'll say
far
stuff like that.
how far into a relationship do you think you'd have to be with someone for them to but you know how like in a relationship, how like it's you're gonna hold your farts in kind of, you know what I mean? If you're on like a first
Yes.
date, like
Usually, so a few months, isn't it? Well, like 3 months,
and like on a
6 months.
first yeah, exactly. And like on a first date, it's obviously polite. Like if someone calls the police and says someone at that table was just zig heiling and it was
Yeah,
actually your date, you'd kind of have to take the rap because it's your
you
first
have to.
date.
So you're out on a date. You're the girl you're seeing on a date with Zig Heils to you.
Just
That's the
throws it
thing.
up. They just see one of
Throws
their
it up.
friends and throws it up.
They'll be like, "Oh yeah, Jessica. Hey, Jess. Hey."
And then, yeah, the cops come over and they're like, hey, apparently someone just zig heiled at this table. And your date kind of just looks at you. You'd have to take the rap for it.
Because I guess after she's done something like that, you're probably thinking about marrying her. So you're gonna make sure it goes well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd be like, I've never been this turned on in my life.
Yeah. Yes, and that's the thing. You're not gonna let it go, because if you say it was her, the date's ruined. But if she does something like actually Zig Heiling, which is kind of worthy of marriage material, you're basically going to take the rap. She'll appreciate it, and then you'll be able to have a good life together.
I think that's the thing. Like a lot more girls would probably throw up zig heil on their first date if they knew that guys were kind of more gentlemanly, like they were back in the day, and they were more willing
That's
to
true. That's
more
true.
willing to say, "Oh no, that was me."
So too many guys nowadays aren't taking the Zig Heil rap for their girlfriends. Is basically what the issue is.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason, like, what happened in Germany happened was because all the girls wanted to throw it up because it's kind of like Beatlemania, but for Hitler.
Oh, for Hitler.
So
That's true.
all the girls wanted to throw it up, but the guys were like, they were kind of more romantic and more gentlemanly in Germany back in the day. So they were like, oh yeah, I'll take the blame for
That's right. It's kind of like, what is it? It's kind of like having a symbol or something for a band. I don't know if any bands or anything like that have like a specific symbol, but Hitler basically would have been kind of like a Justin Bieber or a One Direction for girls.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Young German girls would probably be like, this guy is like the Chris Hemsworth, this guy's the Jason Momoa. Like, this is my pinup. Like, I have him up on my wall. And you're obsessed with him.
I wonder if there's any dating sites just for like,
Nazis.
yeah, for Nazis.
Nazi dating site. Okay. Okay, let's see if we've got some good Nazi dating site would be called we're in the writing room. We're just taking the listeners into the writing room right now. Nazi dating site. What would it be called? It would be called Hail Hail
Um,
Haley's Comet, Haley's
oh,
Song,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, Halo, nice to meet you. You're my Halo, Zig, Zig, match. What else is there? S.
What about just straight up like Nazi hearts or something like that?
Oh, I like that, Nazi hearts.
Because that's the thing
that,
because like if they're actual Nazis, they're proud of it. You know what I mean? They're not trying to hide the fact that they're Nazis.
That's true. Yeah, you're a Nazi, and it's like so. It's an openly Nazi dating site where you can meet other like-minded individuals.
Do you think that would actually be out there though already?
I know they've got specific like conservative dating sites and like Trump-loving dating sites. I know that's a big
Really?
one. Yeah, kind of like
sign up to
Trump
that.
dating site. I know. Yeah, I've already signed up, of course. That's basically why we're using this analogy of girlfriend throwing up the Sieg Heil, because it actually happened, which is the issue. I guess Nazi dating site, could something like that exist, or is it a bit? Could it just be an app, and it's kind of like the swastika inside of a heart? So you've got kind of like a heart, and you got a swastika inside it.
That's a brutal image. That's a real rough image, isn't it?
It's bad. What if they just tried to bring back or like reclaim the swastika, and there's kind of like a K-pop band or something like that, and they're called like the Nazi Hearts. Yeah, and that's their logo. It's just a swastika inside of a heart, and they all kind of wear the armbands as well with the hearts. And then you have like young 13-year-old girls kind of walking around with their swastika armbands with the hearts on it. I think it would be a pretty good like a way to reclaim.
Yeah,
because it'll mean nothing but love and this band. You know what I mean? Like if you and I are wearing it in public, everyone's going to think we're like losers who like K-pop. It's like no, we're white supremacists. No, we don't like Nazi hearts. We don't like them. We like Hitler. So be like, and it's like literally some 14-year-old Korean girl. She's like, "Who's Hitler?" Be like, "We love Nazi hearts."
It's like how are you wearing that? They just started selling Nazi shirts at like Kmart or something. And it's like, oh yeah, if you like Hitler, name 3 of his biggest atrocities. Or something, and they're like, who? They're like, who? I just saw this at Kmart.
They'll be like, Yeah. Yeah, they'll be like, who is a member of who Lee is a member of Nazi Hearts. He's actually from Seoul. Because I like that idea, because all it would take is one big K-pop band called Nazi Hearts, and if they started now, you would have a big generation where they're more popular than World War II. And then probably in 40 years, the average 20-year-old would know Nazi Hearts more than Hitler and the Holocaust. And
will anything ever be more popular than World War II, though? I mean, it was pretty popular. It was pretty popular.
Because you've got the two most popular events, which is kind of like, what, Jesus? And then World War II. Like Hitler, and that's the thing, I don't know if anyone beats them. Hitler's probably more popular than Buddha or Allah. I think you would have to. Hitler's done a pretty good job at kind of being like a household name.
I was thinking about, there was like a documentary series on Netflix about like dictators, or what do you call them? What do you call them?
Oh, yeah.
Tyrants. So, like how to be a tyrant or something, I think the series is called. But I was thinking, it's so funny because like Hitler is on the cover and he's in the first episode. Like the first episode's on him. Yeah. He's not like acting in it or whatever. But I was thinking it's so funny like how Hitler is just like the poster boy now.
Because like he's not even who you've got like Mao, Genghis Khan, who was the one in Russia that did all the killing? But there's been so many people out there that have killed way more people.
Yeah, so why is Hitler the poster boy?
Yeah, maybe because he branded himself correctly. This is just the truth. Whoever was behind like the PR, the marketing team, like he had a really good brand.
Yes.
Like maybe the Nazis had the greatest branding of all time.
Oh, I think they probably
like they've killed it. They really killed it. I don't think anyone's come close to the Nazis for having like a good brand. And they were like, you see the swastika, it's perfect.
And that's the thing, like I think while they were still kind of underground and they weren't really popping like that yet, they kind of like got their brand really on point before they kind of went mainstream.
Yeah, they probably, what did they have? They had like, the Nazi party was around in like the 20s or something. It was something crazy early. And there was like a 10-year period where they were kind of underground and people like hated them. But I think they had a cult following.
Yeah, because Hitler wasn't originally in the group. He kind of like joined the group, right? And he was like, here's what we're doing.
I actually don't even know that history too well. So Hitler joined the Nazi party.
Yeah, because it was already just like a political party, I'm pretty sure. And then Hitler joined. Wow. He was kind of like Henry Rollins in Black Flag. Like he came in later and really just made it what it was.
Right. He made it was any kind of like, okay, I'm going to join. And it's like, no, we need a new logo. That's the first thing we're going with.
Need a new logo, colors. Yeah, that whole kind of thing. And he did turn it around.
New outfits. Yeah, he really turned it around nicely. I think even like I was watching a thing just about the outfits of like the Nazi party and how they were so stylish. Like I think they brought on board a German designer or something like that, who kind of like custom fitted all the outfits. And then I think the distributor was Hugo Boss, but I think they had a really good designer from Germany. He was kind of like, yep, this is like the up and coming guy. And we're going to have him. He's kind of like Kanye West. He's kind of like, this designer was Virgil Abloh. Kanye's kind of like, no, Virgil. He's the guy.
Yeah.
And he was a visionary.
Well, definitely, yeah. They're very similar. Like Kanye kind of pictures a world where it's like a new renaissance he's kind of bringing in.
Yeah.
Just trying to change everything. Yeah, I guess they're very similar in that. Speaking
Yeah,
of
I guess.
oh, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just like during lockdown, like we watched some Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh, is it still on?
Oh, we were watching like old ones,
Oh, old ones. Yeah, yeah.
but I think they're still on or something. Actually, what was it?
Right.
I think I might have even wrote something down. There was something funny in there.
No, I think you're watching maybe the bombing in Lebanon that happened a few months ago. I think you're watching that,
Thought that was.
and you were like, "What's this? What's this? Keeping Up with the Kardashians?"
Yeah,
Uh,
Chloe. Chloe looks good.
it's just a dead body, and it's like, wow, yeah, Chloe looks good.
Chloe trimmed her moustache.
um, so
Yeah,
what were you watching?
yeah. It was just like old episodes, and there's one where Kendall gets like a dog. She's got a dog,
Yeah.
and she's just like out doing modeling all the time. So her mum has to take care of the dog,
Oh
and
wait, how old's Kendall?
she's like
This.
18.
Oh, so it is an old one, old one.
Yeah, and
Okay.
yeah. So she's like out and about doing stuff. The mum's got to take care of
Yeah.
the dog. She comes back home and she's like, "Hey, you got to take care of this dog. I've been doing da 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 da. I've been like feeding it, bringing it in now, like picking up its poop." She's like,
She's like, I
well,
wish we were Lebanese instead of Armenian, or you were in that explosion. I wish you were in that factory.
she was like,
Uh,
it was crazy.
what do you mean? Just
It's crazy. She's like, yeah, this dog has been doing da 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 da, and she's like, well, I mean, that's not my problem.
yeah,
Like, it's only for a few days, blah 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 blah. And
yeah.
I'm like, if I'm that parent, I would, I would tell them I will murder your dog.
You wouldn't want to mind your child's dog while they do modeling.
I would tell them I'm gonna murder your dog unless you take care of it. I'll be like, if you
I don't
leave
know. I
here,
don't think it's too
if
hard.
you leave here without your dog, I'm going to murder it.
I like that. I like that idea of kind of the what is it? Kind of like being the Taliban, doing like a public execution, like hanging the dog off like the front of the house, and then when she gets home, it's just hung there. It's like a sign.
It works so well. Like the threat of like doing that, and then all you have to do is like see to it that it happens, and you've kept your word, and then it'll probably never happen again. You know?
Like imagine you're at town hall, right? And there's the barricades to get into the train station,
Yeah.
and like young kids like to like hop the gates.
They're like, if you hop that gate, I'm gonna murder you.
There's just like right above, past the gates. There's just a kid hanging. That's being hung. It's like, and this thing would be like, he jumped the barricade. I don't think kids would do it.
I think it maybe should be like, if you jump this barricade, we're gonna murder your dog. And it's just like a dog hanging in there.
I like that. There's just a dog hanging at town hall station to remind people if you jump the barricade. I think that should be more like in your face punishment. Like if shoplifting, like you walk into Woolworths, I want to see a guy hanging. I just wish that was just a thing. And it's like, the Sydney police or something adopted more of a fear mongering tactic for crime, where it's like if you shoplift, there's just a guy hanging at town hall. There's just people who have been hung everywhere.
The workers would probably love it because it'd be like a load off their back. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have to put so much work in.
Yeah, I think we should have a world like that where like public hanging's just more of a thing. Like it's just 12 o'clock. You're out for lunch, and there's just a guy screaming, and he's being dragged by police. And then they set up a huge pole, and then he's hung from it, and everyone kind of watches. And it'll be like, what happened here? And it's like, he used too many of the samples at the body shop.
I think because the only way to get COVID is by doing something naughty now. You know what I mean? Like in a place where everyone's locked down, you're only
Yeah.
going to get COVID if you're like doing something naughty. So it should just be like, if you get COVID,
Yeah. Or
we're going to murder your dog.
yeah. I like that idea probably for it'd probably make more sense. Could there be more drastic things to make people wear masks? Or maybe if you're caught not wearing a mask, you kind of get waterboarded with a mask. I kind of like that idea. Like if you weren't wearing a mask and you're kind of at Westfield, a police officer sees you and like takes you to a room and you're waterboarded with a mask, you're probably gonna wear a mask from here on out.
We probably don't. Oh, you know what they should do is just put like a bunch of hazardous gas in the street and give everyone one like hazmat mask.
Oh yeah.
So you kind of just have to wear it everywhere.
Oh, that's
Otherwise,
true.
because the gas
You're
kind of
probably
like,
gonna die.
yeah, oh, you won't, but what happens is like if you breathe that in, it makes you kind of go crazy and you go home and murder your dog.
I like that one. I like that one.
I don't know, is this bit coming off a bit too dog hungry?
How about what if they didn't have a dog? That would be the only issue.
Yeah, so they need an initiative to kind of give everyone a dog first.
Oh, everyone gets a dog first.
Every house gets a dog as a companion for lockdown.
Okay, and then when you do stuff wrong, they're gonna come murder your dog. That'll be like the first thing that happens.
Yeah, everyone cares about something, don't they?
I don't know. I think there's some people out there that don't. I think it's probably like a nice thing to not be scared of anything. Especially like the idea of being in the apocalypse or something like that. If you're kind of the lone guy, kind of like in The Walking Dead, if you're like the Glenn, you can just like be on the motorbike. You've got nothing to worry about. I feel like Rick probably wished his son died early on so he could kind of enjoy himself a little bit. Like, that's the issue. You don't want to have a kid. You don't want to have anyone close to you during a zombie apocalypse because they're going to weigh you down.
Yes. That's almost life in general, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess there's not, to an extent. You definitely get weighed down by things you have responsibility for. But I feel it becomes kind of really obvious during like a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yes. Like even in I Am Legend, what was it? Will Smith had a dog.
Yes.
And he had to murder his own dog.
Oh, how good's that? I gotta watch that movie.
How about, I like that one. I like the Will Smith movie, but it's kind of reshaped to have more emphasis on the dog killing scene. I think that would probably be like the way to go in Hollywood.
So say you're just like on a date with a girl and you're just on this date and she throws up a Zig Heil.
Yeah.
And the cops come over and they're like, who did that?
Yeah.
That'd probably throw a spanner in the works because you wouldn't want your dog to die. You know what I mean?
Oh, because they're going to kill your dog if they find out it's you.
Throwing up a Zig Heil. If the police find it's you throwing up a Zig Heil, they're going to kill your dog.
I like the idea of like the movies where animals were actually killed. I would love the idea that a movie like is made in 2021 and just hundreds of animals are killed. And we kind of start bringing that idea back. Just killing animals on film.
That's true.
Or even like being on a date with a girl and you kind of purposefully, like, you're like, oh yeah, let's watch a whole bunch of movies. And you specifically pick movies where animals actually die.
And you sit there pointing it out and kind of letting her know that those animals have died.
Like, even just really inconspicuous movies, like a movie from the 1950s, like a Mexican movie, and you're like, do you know those chickens actually were murdered? And you just keep on bringing it up movie after movie. And you're like, yeah, let's watch a few movies. I just got some movies, and you just want to go watch them. And each one, you don't even...
they're all on cassette tape. They're all on cassette tape, and they're all POV.
I like the idea. It's just, yeah, it's on cassette tape, and then you're like through the second movie, and there's been like scenes of animals being killed, and then it's like you record it over a little part of the movie, and then it just goes to you killing an animal in your backyard. You go, oh. And you're like, oh, I didn't know. I must have, sorry, it's an accident. I must have recorded over.
You're like, this next bit's so good.
It'd be a good bit. Like, the most handsome, charismatic guy in the world. Like, I like a prank idea. And there's this perfect date. And then the girl goes home to watch movies where animals are killed. And the guy's kind of reveling in it.
Dude, even like, imagine doing that, getting like an MP3 file or anything like that. And just like putting in a bit where it goes for like exactly a minute. So it's like static. Yeah. It's like, you know exactly where it is in the movie.
Yes.
Like, say you're watching Shrek and it's just like the part where like Donkey sees dragon or something like that.
Yeah. So you're watching Shrek, that part comes up.
It goes like static and then it goes to someone and they're like, leave, you have to get out of here, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes static. Yeah. So just before that comes up, the date's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go grab some popcorn from the kitchen.
Oh, before that bit happens.
Right before that bit. So it pops up as soon as they leave. And the date's just sitting there. That's not even a prank, is it? That's kind of...
Is that a prank? Just a random girl. Just like some random girl. Please, you have to leave right now. Please. And then it quickly goes back to Shrek.
Or even like a video of that person and they're like, don't trust me, I'm not to be trusted, blah, blah, blah. Go and sit back down perfectly after that.
And it's like, oh man, wait, did you want salt with the popcorn or you're good without, it's got a little bit of salt in it.
Or you're like,
act like nothing.
You're like, here, I got you a drink. And you don't have a drink yourself.
What?
Like, here, I got you a drink. And there's something like fizzing at the bottom of it. And you don't have a drink yourself.
Oh man, I like that. I like kind of the real pranks. Or I even like the prank that's kind of intended just for you. Where there's like no real audience. I like the one where it's not even a camera. Just kind of bringing good old classic pranking back.
That is a classic prank. That's something you could like. Yeah, you should. There's like thumbtack on the chair of the teacher. There's like whoopee cushion. Whoopee cushion. There's like inserting a little section into your own video to warn your date of yourself as you come back into the room.
People like the idea, like you just sit like the tax agent or something like that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I just got to go get some files." They just put thumbtacks on their seat, and they return back, and they get stabbed. Like, do they have the right to kind of say, "No, I'm not going to do your tax return"?
What about if it was like at a funeral home or something like that, trying to organize something for like your grandparent or something?
Yeah.
And the funeral home person leaves and you just put thumbtacks on his seat.
I like that one because it's so it's so intense. Like you're actually you're actually like piercing someone's skin. Like it's such kind of a grievous like thing to do to someone. I think that's why it's so funny.
It's so funny because it's a butt as well. Just like a sharp and pointy in the butt.
I do, yeah. Just kind of bringing back, just putting thumbtacks on things. I do love that idea.
What else is there like that? Have you ever hurt yourself badly? Broken a bone or anything?
Oh, dislocated my knee.
How'd you do that? That sounds bad.
Yeah, that was great. I think that's probably the only thing I've done. I was just like playing soccer, like a soccer game as a kid. Like I was a goalie, and then I think I went for the kick, and just went for a huge kick, and my knee dislocated.
And like that's why you're the goalie.
I like that everyone's like crowding me. And
the coach just comes over. The coach comes over and he's like, and that's why he was in goals. He's like yelling at your mum.
And that's why he's the goalie. So anyway,
wow, that's crazy. Did you have to go to hospital?
Yeah, that was wild. So have you done any dislocations? I mean, any broken bones?
No. Oh, wait, have I had broken bones? No.
Yeah, because it's such an intense thing. Like, it's funny. I always kind of wanted to have crutches as a kid.
Yeah, I know what you mean, or a cast or something.
Or a cast, cool. Yeah. Like, that was kind of my dream. That was, like, literally everything. Just to have crutches would have been the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you see a guy who's, like, in his mid-20s with crutches. It's just really... Sad. It's so childish.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? It's kind of like when you see a 30-year-old with braces.
No.
It's just like, what are you doing? Like that time's passed.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Did you get crutches?
No, I never got crutches. No, I think I don't even remember what happened. I feel it kind of sorted itself out pretty quickly. Because again, a dislocation, I don't even really know what a dislocation does. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I think it kind of pops out, and then you just have to get it popped back in.
Yeah, I think they must have popped it back in. That was terrifying.
That was like I don't know if I told you this, but one time we did knock a run. It was hectic. This dude came out with a kind of like a bat, and then we kind of like...
Then your dog's there, and you're like, no, what? And then and he's like, yeah, no, I knew you were gonna do it. I took you dog sport.
He just holds up a photo of me zig heiling and just
just running away from friends, and then just like, wait, what's he holding up? That's one of the funniest things. You're snooping around in a random house. Somehow gonna find a music highlight. Just at a restaurant from like months ago. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so you knocked and run. You did the knock and run.
Yeah, we knocked and run. This guy came out and he like jumped in his car and like chased us down the street. Chased us down the street. My friend was like, we'll ride at his house there. He's like, don't go back to my house, don't go back to my house. So we kept running. My other friend, there was three of us, he just like went.
Wait a second, this guy's in a car. This guy's in his car.
Yes.
And he's chasing you for knocking and running.
Yeah. He was an angry guy.
That's crazy.
So we kind of like ran around the block and he had come back around. So it was like right at his house. It was like at the end of a street. So there was nowhere really we could go. So we jumped into his backyard.
Oh my gosh. It doesn't even sound real. I don't think this is real.
He had like weed plants growing in his backyard.
Ah, yeah.
So we're like, all right, this guy is just like a little bit of a psycho. And I think my friend knew that this guy was a psycho and like a loner, and he just lived up the end of the street and kind of like did his thing.
That's why you do it, because you know you're going to get the reaction.
Exactly. So we kind of like went around the back of his house and then jumped this fence at the back. And it was like a cul-de-sac kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this guy like pulled up and jumped out of his car. Because we're sweet. I think we've lost him. But he comes around and he's like staunching towards us with this baseball bat. And my friend goes to step, but he's got like really bad knees.
Oh.
So he went to like step and his knee popped out. And he just like fell on the ground. He was just like screaming like, please, please, please.
Are you kidding?
And I was kind of like right there behind him, kind of like stressing out. And I think the guy must have freaked himself out and been like, oh, I've kind of hurt this guy or whatever.
Oh, so I was ready for this guy to get, so he's not going to hit him with a baseball bat.
Well, that's what I guess it was like a scare tactic. He was like showing us what he could have done to our dog or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I picked him up. He left as well. I think he was like looking for our third friend that kind of like disappeared.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about afterwards. Because my friend, and you know this guy too. You know who my friend is in this story. But we kind of like hobbled back.
So he dislocated his knee.
My friend did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's full on. Yeah.
And we like limped back to his house, like arm around him.
Yeah.
Freaking out. And we got back there and my other friend was just sitting in his room, like smoking weed.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, where have you guys been? And we're like, we just ran around the block, got chased. He had a baseball bat. And he just pulled it on us and he's like, I just came straight back here.
That's insane.
And it was
how old were you?
Like 16 or 17.
Oh, that's probably a bit too old to be knocking and running.
Yeah, true. Probably like 16. No, it's not too old to be knocking and running. I wish I could still do it. I probably could still do it.
Do you want to just get, when we get back together, I think that's going to be a thing we just do, knock and run.
I don't know. I feel like you have to be in that rowdy kind of mood. You have to lose your conscience a little bit.
But I guess it's a knock and run, because I think I probably stopped doing it 12. I think I would have stopped around 12. I don't think I would have done it after then.
Yeah, we were definitely at the height of our being cheeky.
It's 16.
Later on.
Knocking and running.
Yeah, I've done it since then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where? Like in Newtown?
No.
Okay.
That's one of the funniest things in the world to do.
I kind of want to. All it takes is enough people, like 2 other people, and to be in a bit of a funny mood.
We've never done
Like,
anything like that together. We're not like
no.
that. We're not like that.
I feel if we were in sicko mode, that's all it would take.
Yeah.
And then we'll do something like that. You just need to be in sicko mode, and then that's all it takes to kind of present the idea. It's like, hey, you want to kind of knock and run right now. Like, how funny would that be? How funny. I feel a lot of that stuff's going to come back, especially in kind of a post-COVID world where, like, people have missed a lot of their youth. I don't think it's going to be, like, unsurprising if people in their mid-20s are knocking and running.
It's a funny thing to think about, like, just as you get older, you kind of like lose that. Oh, it's probably not losing, it's probably gaining empathy for other people.
That's true. Oh, no, but I guess a knock and run's so harmless. That's the thing. Like, if someone knocked on my door and ran, and I got to the door and there was no one there, number one, I would think it's probably like a setup and I'm about to get robbed. Like, that's full on. But if I found out someone did a knock and run, I would be like, that's hilarious. That's so... I'll be like, yeah, they're in sicko mode right now, and they've done a knock and run.
At this age, it's
Like,
kind of like you could knock and just not run, and instead like assault the person and run into their house and steal everything.
I kind of like that idea. Like, yeah, Clockwork Orange, like, take their wife. Like, that'd be probably a funnier thing.
Where is your dog?
Yeah, you just go up to the dog. I like this one. Like, you find the person, you kind of put a knife to their throat, you force them to do a Zig Heil while you take a photo. And then you show, that might be the new thing.
It's a new like social media trend.
Think about this, right? Think about it. You go to someone's house, you put a knife to their neck.
Yeah.
And then you say Zig Heil. And then your other friend takes a photo. They can now do nothing. They can't call the police or anything like that because you have a photo of them Zig Heiling. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing they can do.
But then the police would be like, oh no, like they would be like, oh no. Oh, you know what you have to do? You have to take a photo of them Zig Heiling. And then they ring the police. You have to beat them to ring the police. And you have to be like, hey, they just held a knife to my neck and said that they were going to make me Zig Heil.
Because you know what it is? It's like, it becomes like a schoolyard thing. Like, if a guy called the police and be like, kids, Zig Heil, the police would be like, okay, yeah, buddy, serious calls only. Like, it just wouldn't happen. I don't think the police could actually take that seriously. If we together went up to someone, I got the knife, you were the cameraman, and we got a photo of it.
We couldn't do that. We couldn't do that, though.
If we're in sicko mode, though.
Even in sicko mode, dude.
No, I don't think you understand what real sicko mode, that's something you do.
No, because we've got, we've got Travi and Drizzy Drake. Like, their sicko mode is not that sick. We're not about
I guess it's the...
Because if someone made you Zig Heil against your will, that would take away all your... You know what I mean? You would just feel...
And then to get the photo taken, it's such an awkward thing. And it's almost like it's that angle that the law can't really do anything about because it just doesn't seem real. And if there was a news article on it, like, it just is so unreal.
Right.
So silly that it could work. Like, let's say if you did it as a social experiment to be like, hey, we threatened a guy with a knife and made him Zig Heil to see what he would do. I honestly feel the majority of people would, again, knife to the neck, photo taken, you leave. Nothing else. I don't think people would call the police. And then you
Yes.
say, if you call the police, I'm posting this photo.
I mean, it's
like
it's kind of
I've never
foolproof.
kind of wanted to send a message saying do something. Yeah, I really want someone to kind of take this inspiration and do it because it's so funny. Like, it's so funny and so, like, I think we've uncovered kind of almost like a life hack of the perfect prank. Like, again, knocking and running, something you did as a kid. As an adult, you do something like this.
That is an adult prank.
It's a real adult. It's kind of like blackmailing. It's like the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. Instead of kind of getting a guy with an underage girl, you get him Zeke Heiling. And what's worse?
True.
Being a Nazi or being a pedophile? Because that's the thing. It's a real... It's evening out nowadays. If someone's a Nazi versus a pedophile, I don't know. What's kind of like the public consensus on that today? Like, to the average person on the street, you'd be like, this guy's a Nazi. This guy's an actual Nazi.
Yeah.
Like, again, you could almost use the example of Jared from Subway.
Yeah.
He was caught soliciting sex from a, 17-year-old girl? Technically, he's a pedophile.
What does soliciting mean?
I think he paid for it. I think it was a 17-year-old prostitute.
Well, if he paid for it.
Yeah, and I think...
You know what I mean? Like, if he paid for it, then it's kind of his.
I know, that's the thing, and it's... Yeah. Like, that's the actual thing with Jared, is that it wasn't that bad, but he lost everything, and technically he was a pedophile. He's now a pedophile. But if he was caught Zig Heiling at the front of his house, no one knows.
You know, it's like going to the shop and buying a banana when it's still green.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, that's still green. And it's like, I just bought it. It doesn't matter. It's my... It's my own. It has nothing to do with you, what I do with this thing. I guess the difference is soliciting sex with a 17-year-old is illegal.
Again, what would you're with a friend, but it depends if you're going to, because again, both things are wrong. If you saw someone buy a banana that was completely green, peel it open and eat it,
yeah,
versus your friend that said, oh yeah, I had sex with a 17-year-old, who are you going to kind of be more scared of? Like, what's more disturbing? I honestly feel the banana thing. Like, that's creepy. You can kind of understand where someone gets like, oh yeah, I wanted to have sex with a 17-year-old. You can kind of get there. But the green banana thing's kind of really worrying in terms of like what's worse for society.
That's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
And I'm not talking about the banana, which would also be a tough one because it's... Have you had like a pure... I've had a banana that's close to green. It's really like... It's intense. It's very, very intense. Like, I'm talking about pure green.
Is this a metaphor?
I don't even know what this is. I don't really know what this is. But I do like the idea of something about like kidnapping someone, making them Zig Heil, starving them for a few days, and then giving them a plate of green bananas and seeing if they'd eat it. Say you could leave if you have sex with a 17-year-old. I feel it's a nice little thing. Like, how long would you eat green bananas for until you had to have sex with a 17-year-old?
Is it a good? Is it a? That's crazy. I didn't know about that. Like with Jared from Subway.
Oh, Rick, what did you think? What do you think happened? What did you think happened?
I thought the grief of losing his dog
would warrant him having being with an underage girl.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really think about it.
I know I think a lot of people were quick to exaggerate it. Would be like, oh yeah, he's a pedophile. He likes children, and you assume it's probably like a 9-year-old or something like that.
Yes.
I feel that's like the Jared thing.
Right.
You get caught for something like that, people are going to be like, oh, you like little kids, huh?
Right. Was he was he a mascot or something?
Was he a what?
I don't think he owns Subway, does he? He's just like a mascot.
Oh no, he was I think he was a spokesperson.
True. I think prostitution's illegal in the States as well, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Why? I wonder.
I don't understand why at all, because I feel it's such a necessary thing for a society. Like, I think everyone, as long as it's kind of, what's it called? Kind of like regulated, people make sure there's no like human trafficking going on. I feel it does a lot more good than harm, legalizing it. Because it stops like so many horrible things from happening. I think it makes people more relaxed, more chill. Do you know what I mean? No one has the excuse to be an incel. I don't think there would be any school shootings and stuff like that. I feel there's so many things that would kind of be changed if like a place legalizes prostitution. Because I think that's a lot of people's problem. It's kind of like getting attention from the other sex. What if you hired a prostitute and just made her Zig Heil?
Wait, sorry, come again.
If you hired a prostitute and just made her Zig Heil?
That's good.
Like, would that just be... I guess she can't say no. So it's like, no, that's just my thing. But I guess if you don't record, it'd be even weirder if you just make her do it. Like, it's just you and her, and you make her Zig Heil.
It's good. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Really, I saw what you did there. And then you leave.
You're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Like, are you kidding me? What are you actually doing?
Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to look up white supremacists.
I like a white supremacist kind of app, and it's like a
Dating
list of white supremacists, and it makes a mirror on your computer or something like that.
The white supremacist dating site.
Oh, okay.
There's a bunch, it looks like.
Really?
New Aryan Mingle.
Ooh, it's actually a thing.
Oh, I don't like this. It's fun joking about stuff, but it gets real too quick.
Are you going to get in trouble looking it up? I feel like I always want to look this one up as well. Let's see. What did you type in? White supremacist.
Dating app, yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up.
It's probably good to have something so fundamentally, like something so fundamental to oneself in common, if you know what I mean.
As well. Let's see if is it gonna work? Am I back? Yo.
Yo.
Oh yeah. What's happening on the app? I mean, on the site. How many sites are there?
Quite a few, it looks like.
Really? Like, what are they called?
What is it? This one's called whitedate.net.
What about a white supremacist? And you think that Shaun White, the snowboarder, is like a supreme being? I do like that idea of like an athlete or a person kind of with the last name White calling his fans white supremacists.
Oh, like Walter White from Breaking Bad, and say, who's your favorite character? And you're like, I'm a white supremacist.
Yes.
Which character do you think reigns supreme?
I would love to have like a shirt, right, you can get from Typo or from Cotton On, and it just says white supremacist in like huge letters, and then the Heisenberg logo underneath. Just like on the glass.
Dude, that might be some more sausage merch.
Oh. I think that's it. I think that might be our next piece of merch. Or even just like Shaun White, and it's kind of like him doing like a crazy trick at like at a ski kind of event, and then underneath it says white supremacist, and you can kind of obviously see the red hair and everything like that.
True.
But I do feel that Heisenberg white supremacist shirt would be killer.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool name for like a clothing brand, like Off-White, and then there's just white supremacists.
Or even just like neo-Nazi, and it's just got like a huge picture of like Keanu Reeves from The Matrix, and then underneath it says neo-Nazi.
And he's a Nazi.
No, you're kind of what would that be? You're kind of a Nazi for Neo from The Matrix.
All right, well, it's been a fun episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that is a good one.
Yeah. But yeah.
Maybe we wrap it there, huh?
Too easy, baby doll.
That is an hour. I'll just press stop and we can talk in the thing.
Okay, sick.
All right.
Peace out, fam.
Peace out. Yo.
Woo!